Cool, yeah. I want to say, like, To Believe in Nothing for both of you isn't your first rodeo. You've had previous projects. It'd be good to hear about how this has resulted from your previous projects.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was in a band called Caine before, and it was a tough time. I was doing a lot of the work in that band, a lot of the social media, and talking to promoters and stuff like that. And I feel like Steve was in a similar boat, right?
Steve was in Tempest, who were an Eastbourne metalcore band, and they did some bits actually. Like they wrote, recorded, and released an album, which is a huge amount of work, and then toured it, and I think he'd done a couple of other bits as well. He was in some bands, and he was in, which is nice, and I didn't realise how big a deal that was for everyone until I really looked at that. And then I was in Torrid Horror. And I was in Street Grease, and I was in some shit band when I was like 18. But you don't need to know about that. No one needs to know about that.
I'd never been in like a noise band before. I was really super duper into thrash and just trying to write like crazy solos and stuff like that. But this band has no solos. It's more like atmosphere,
Yeah, I would say how the other projects have influenced me. Like, I mean, we played together, Chris. I had my noise board there, but I'm using it in a very, very different way for Believe in Nothing. The things I've learnt from the bands before are invaluable, but musically it's not as similar. It's not like I kind of walked into it and been, oh yeah, we should do A and B from this project. If anything, it's trying to push against what I've done before. So vocally for me in Believe in Nothing, I learnt things from gigging with Torrid and that I didn't think I could do, and that's cool. And then I've kind of taken some of that and then put it in Believe in Nothing and then really expanded on it and pushed some things as far as I could possibly go.
I would say as well, like you were in your formative years, I'd say, still kind of early days, would you say?
Yeah, man, like I've never done vocals in a band until we started writing Torrid Horror in like 2018, and then we didn't gig until like 2021, I think, because of COVID and shit. But I'm still learning like all the time. There's bits in the record now in the set that I didn't realise I could do until I had a mic in my face and we were recording. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can do that. Some of these like fucking desperate kind of yowls, like I'm being chased or mugged, and those kind of things are really like, I don't know if I wasn't doing Believe in Nothing, I don't know where the place for that would be, but it definitely isn't anything I've done before. Black Groove are a huge inspiration to me personally. The people in it and the work they do and how they approach their business is just nothing short of meaningful, and there's a lot that can be learned from that shit. I feel like I've personally got enough conviction to be able to make my own ways on stuff. And like, I don't know, Believe in Nothing from the beginning to where it is now is worlds apart. Like, we figured a lot of shit out together.
Yeah. Even people at the live show said that we act totally different to the first couple of shows that we'd done.
Yeah.
To the most recent ones.
Yeah, we found a lot of stuff out while doing it, so it's been a really like organic road, and that's the kind of a really great place to be. You know, you can't fucking write the blurb for the book before you've figured out chapter 12. I don't know.
Well, Lawrence, what would you say the kind of biggest challenge has been so far in terms of, aside from Caine moving across the country?
Do you know what? In the beginning, I remember thinking, I have no idea what Caine wants. Like, I'd have these riffs, and we firstly started talking about, we want a band like... We learnt covers from Slipknot and Caine. Do you remember?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And I remember writing a riff, it was like very Caine style, and it just never stuck. And I think like over time we developed a sound. We have like, you know, songs that we play live. We have like 4 or 5 songs now, but we must have like 12 or 15 songs that we just trashed because there just wasn't the vibe.
I came in and I had this fucking like quite a clear vision of what I wanted to do and how I thought all these people can like help bring it together. And it was hard and I couldn't really articulate it, and like I'm not a guitar player, so I couldn't be like, you know, technically say what to do, but like the process was as such, okay? Yeah. Like me and Jasper just spontaneously jumped in a room to write like just a fun new metal track, right? So I jumped behind the kit, played some drums, he dropped a riff, nice one. We recorded it just with MIDI drums, and I dropped some vocals on there, wrote about, you know, grabbing fistfuls of worms and like being dragged around in the woods, that kind of weird shit. Yeah. Just a bit of fun. And then it just kind of sat there. Like, okay, we should really try and do something with that at some point. And then I sort of got Lawrence because he jumped out of Carnius. I got Steve because he's too good of a musician to not do anything. And then we got Jasper. And then I pulled Jordan in from Torrid Horror to play drums. And we were just kind of scratching around. And it just kind of... It was difficult, and we wrote some cool songs. And then I got pneumonia, and I was fucked for like nearly 2 months. I just didn't know if I was gonna even be able to do vocals again. And so by the time we got back in a room, Jordan had moved to London. He couldn't commit anymore. We didn't have a drummer. So I was like, okay, I'll try and loop some drum tracks from my SPD. I can't do vocals, so I'm gonna like take a little dictaphone recording of David Tennant reading War of the Worlds, loop that, put it through some noise pedals. It was like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And we had Kyle from Chubb jump in on drums for a couple of sessions. I heard about this. And that was like post Caine pneumonia, when I'm just trying to find my feet again. And it was just like starting from scratch. And he didn't turn up 1 week. And I don't know, I think Jasper just jumped behind the kit. It was like, I'll give it a go. And it was like, okay, Jasper. Because he plays bass, he plays guitar, producer, just one of those people who can do fucking everything. And he jumped behind the kit and it was like, fuck! What? You hits like a fucking jackhammer, man. Like, that skin is sweating. He is not fucking about. And he is such a nice guy. not then.
So do you feel like you found that click?
Yeah, it was.
That was
it. Pretty instant,
That was fucking
right?
it. Yeah.
And then we were only writing a room. Like Lawrence said, we had a lot of stuff written before, and the guys are all really handy on like Reaper and shit, and can just bust tracks out their laptops faster than anything. But we wrote in a room. We wrote with like huge amounts of anxiety and just like building these horrible fucking sticky, disgusting atmospheres, and it just like bitter feeling.
I felt like the noise wasn't so prominent in the beginning. Though.
No, it
was
wasn't.
really songwriting, and that came later.
Yeah.
And it was to do with building the atmosphere and starting slow with that black groove influence, and then building that fucking like raw sound.
We made a decision to always have the board set up and never write in the room without it. And that was really good. But yeah, it was the click of like the shift of Jasper from bass into drums. 2 guitars. Okay, Steve, you're gonna have to buy amp because you're smart. And like that restriction really helped the band as well. So now you've got this technically amazing guitarist who can just fly all over the neck. But now he's playing bass at the same time. So restriction was key. And then Lawrence had a bit more of a free roll. Yeah, man, that was awesome. I think so many people can write songs and just push them out on a laptop now, but to do it in a room, like, fucking said it time and time again, like, just to, when you're jamming and you find that crazy fucking moment and you're all clicking and you're all looking at each other and you're, oh, fucking hell, we've just changed at the same time? Shit, man, are we gonna go back? Oh, fucking, come on, we've done it. And he's going double time.
The writing process would involve a lot of improvisation.
Yeah. And then you stop and it's like, how are we going to do that again?
Do you know what? we started bringing in riffs that were made on the computer, and then we never did it ever again after a certain point. It was just like, I have a riff, here's the riff, guys, and then everyone would just kind of play around it, and then it would build up, and we'd be like, wow, and it just kind of happened, like, very organically. And even Jasper, because he's multi-instrumentalist, he's behind the kit going, if you do this, you do that, it just fucking it just worked because the chemistry. And I feel like the chemistry came from a meeting that we had before we even jammed, saying this is how we want the band to be. We want to fucking just work as fluidly as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you've got 12 plus potentially songs that you've
easy,
thrown
man.
in the bin as well.
Yeah. We before we settled and reached these restrictions and boundaries musically that we wanted to keep to, before we had them, we got tracks, man. But now it's just like in the room, find that bucking wild horse and like grab that cunt only and and then expand on it. In terms of the Church Road thing, like for me, it's important that everyone can understand how fucking lucky that I feel, and I feel like I can speak on behalf of the rest of us. Yeah, we feel very lucky. Yeah, but within that, we worked very hard. This shit did not come off backhanders, off favours, off of who knows who and they know that. Like, no, none of that, because that can and does happen. And do you know what? Fair enough. People know people and they make things happen. Cool. So our producer, we sent him all our recordings and he mixed and mastered it. And then he was like, fuck, this is good. We'll send this off to Church Road if that's all right. And it was like, you sure, man? You sure? Because not in our wildest dreams, right? And
do you know what's funny, right? He was talking about that, and he was like, "I'll send it off." And we're like, "Yeah, send it off." And you said, "Just so you know, this is a really good thing. Like, nothing might come of it, but it's a really good thing." And I remember thinking, you know, it's going to send off, it will come back, and maybe nothing will happen. And then it's just like, yeah.
4 tracks, 13 minutes, yeah. Labels generally aren't interested in that.
It's usually a brick wall, isn't it?
It's an album they want. So, yeah, even though it was amazing that Wayne Adams thought it was good enough to send to them, we thought, okay, maybe we'll just get on their radar, fine. Like, Church Road knew none of us when we had the first call with them. They were like, so who are you? Like, where have you come from? Anyway, that's important for me, that we got that shit off of hard work, and we, you know, have obviously hit on something that someone likes.
I'd say it shows. I mean, you guys have obviously churned out shows left, right and centre since you started.
Yeah, man, that was the plan.
Pretty tirelessly, and again, you guys are like releasing merch. You've got physical, like, tokens, I suppose, of that artwork as well, and it's being received within the local music scene, but on a wider spectrum, in London, and
Yeah.
it's just leaking up the country.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the gigs we've done, but like, I know quite a few people, so I have been able to make that happen. I put gigs on myself. I've put us on left, right, and centre, as you fucking do. And you know, we haven't got offered loads of shows, but fuck me, I've made a lot of them happen because, you know, I like doing gigs. The way that EMC as a community and just Eastbourne people have backed us has been nothing short of amazing, really. Like, we've done shows where we had no right to have that many people, like, knowing the words to the one demo we put on Bandcamp, and it's like, you know, I'll go home and I'll fucking cry my eyes out with pride of, like, what scene that I've helped to build and how it benefits people. Like, it is the greatest achievement of my life, like, helping make my town better, even though I've left. We're super proud to be like, boom, flag, Eastbourne. Like, make no mistake, like, I chose our location for our press shots that will be announced with Church Road to be on the seafront, in a fairly quintessential shot of being Eastbourne, like, bar having the fucking pier in the background. It's like, you know, I want it to be like, yeah, we're an Eastbourne band, because so many bands, including Torrid Horror, like, we were like, yeah, we're a South East band. We're from Eastbourne, except I live in Edinburgh, but we're from Eastbourne.
We had that conversation too about if you move to Edinburgh, it's still Eastbourne band, and Jasper was like, he felt really strongly about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we wrote, we recorded, every opportunity we've been able to carve ourselves in that respect has been in Eastbourne. Like, the record was recorded in Eastbourne, was mixed and mastered by Wayne in London. Like, I want to be able to share the love on that shit, you know. It's a big deal getting signed by this label, and, you know, I don't just want to be like, we're a UK band.
And I never wanted this.
Exciting. We played Green Door Store before, and I think it was one of the best gigs I've ever played. It was just like, the atmosphere in the venue is just different to any other, and it's kind of like one of those places where massive bands have played as well. So the very first time, I had never played it, but last year it was like a huge thing for me, and it was just, yeah, it's just an amazing place to play.
Wrap things up by saying Instagram plug, best place to find you. We'll chuck it all in anyway.
Instagram plug. Believe in nothing _noise. You don't have to fucking follow us. Don't do it. You don't have to. Yeah, come to a gig,
Yeah.
face a wall, close your eyes. Yeah, believe in nothing _noise, and the best ways to find us, I don't know really. You have to wait and see. Yeah.
Figure that one out.
Yeah.